Imagine an empire that ruled lands in Europe, Asia, and Africa all at once, the Ottoman Empire. For over 6 centuries, it was a global powerhouse, shaping the world far beyond its borders. The Sultan's authority stretched from Vienna to Yemen, Algeria to Persia, a true bridge between East and West. Ottoman armies were feared, their navies dominated the Mediterranean, and the Sultan was both king and caliph, holding religious sway over millions. The empire controlled Mecca, Medina, and Jerusalem, making it the guardian of Islam's holiest sites. Its lands included Egypt's fertile fields and the ancient heartlands of Mesopotamia, sitting astride vital trade routes for spices and silk. The Ottomans influenced politics, trade, and culture, often deciding the fate of nations. Their story is one of brilliant leaders, disciplined soldiers, and a mosaic of peoples and faiths. Understanding their rise helps us see how Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa were shaped. The Ottoman legacy still echoes in today's politics and cultures. Let's discover how a small state became a world empire. The Ottoman Empire began as a tiny Turkish beylik in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey. In the late 1200s, Anatolia was a land of chaos after the Seljuk collapse and Byzantine decline. Osman, the founder, led a small band of warriors on the Byzantine frontier, seizing opportunities in a land of conflict. His followers, driven by faith and the promise of conquest, raided Christian lands and attracted more Ghazis to their cause. The Ottomans' location was perfect for expansion, with a weakened Byzantine Empire next door. While rival beyliks fought each other, Osman focused westward, presenting his state as a champion of Islam. This strategy drew more warriors, fueling a cycle of conquest and growth. The name Ottoman comes from Osman, Osmanli, in Turkish. The state's core idea was constant expansion, powered by the Gaza ethos. Every institution supported the military, making the Ottomans a formidable force. Pragmatic leadership and a strategic location allowed them to outlast rivals. From these humble beginnings, the stage was set for an empire. The transformation from a small beylik to a world power had begun. Osman's son, Orhan, transformed the Ottomans from a band of warriors into a structured state. He created the first standing army and captured Bursa in 1326, making it the first Ottoman capital. Orhan adopted the title of Sultan and established coins, mosques, and schools, foundations of a real state. Under Orhan's son, Murad I, the Ottomans crossed into Europe, seizing Gallipoli in 1354, a turning point. The capital moved to Edirne, signaling a focus on European expansion. Murad's victory at Kosovo in 1389 shocked Christian Europe and cemented Ottoman power in the Balkans. Bayezid I, the Thunderbolt, expanded rapidly, defeating crusaders at Nicopolis and besieging Constantinople. Disaster struck in 1402 when Timur crushed the Ottomans at Ankara. Bayezid died in captivity. A bloody civil war followed, threatening the empire's survival. Yet the strong foundations laid by the early sultans allowed the state to endure. The Ottomans emerged from crisis, ready to rise again. Their resilience set the stage for future greatness. The empire's story was far from over. After civil war, Sultan Mehmed II took the throne in 1451, determined to capture Constantinople. The city, last bastion of Byzantium, was protected by legendary walls. Mehmed built a fortress to cut off aid and commissioned giant cannons to breach the defenses. With an army of 80,000 and a powerful fleet, he began the siege in April 1453. For 53 days, the Ottomans bombarded the city while defenders, led by Emperor Constantine II, fought valiantly. Mehmed's bold move, dragging ships overland into the Golden Horn, sealed the city's fate. On May 29th, Ottoman forces broke through. The city fell, and the last Byzantine emperor died fighting. Mehmed entered as conqueror, converting Hagia Sophia into a mosque. The fall of Constantinople ended the Roman Empire after 1,500 years and shocked the world. Mehmed became known as Fatih, the conqueror, and made the city his capital, renaming it Istanbul. Istanbul became the heart of a revitalized, powerful Ottoman Empire. The conquest marked a new era for both East and West. The Ottomans now stood at the crossroads of continents. The Ottoman Empire reached its zenith in the 1500s under Suleiman the Magnificent, known as Kanuni, the lawgiver. His reign, from 1520 to 1566, saw the empire expand to its greatest size and cultural brilliance. Suleiman led armies deep into Europe, capturing Belgrade, crushing Hungary at Mohacs, and reaching the gates of Vienna. His navy, led by Barbarossa, dominated the Mediterranean, while Ottoman forces seized Rhodes, Algiers, and Baghdad. The empire controlled trade routes from the Red Sea to the Persian Gulf. Suleiman was more than a conqueror. He reformed the legal system, creating the Kanun, a code that lasted centuries. Istanbul flourished as a center of art and architecture, with Mimar Sinan building masterpieces like the Süleymaniye Mosque. The empire's wealth, power, and culture dazzled the world. Suleiman's rule marked the height of Ottoman influence. The Golden Age left a legacy of law, art, and imperial grandeur. The empire's reach and achievements were unmatched in its time. Under Suleiman, the Ottomans truly became a world empire. The Ottomans' military might rested on the elite Janissaries, the first modern standing army in Europe. These disciplined infantry were shock troops, wielding firearms and breaking enemy lines. The Janissaries were created through the Devşirme, a system that took Christian boys from the Balkans, converted them, and trained them as soldiers. Boys received rigorous education, military training, and total loyalty to the Sultan. Forbidden to marry, their only family was the court and the Sultan himself. This ensured their loyalty and made them a powerful tool for the central government. The most talented boys became top administrators, even grand viziers. The Devşirme system created a merit-based ruling class, not one of birth. A poor peasant's son could rise to the empire's highest ranks. For centuries, the Janissaries and Devşirme fueled Ottoman strength. Their discipline and skill were key to Ottoman victories. The system was both a source of power and a unique feature of the empire. Ottoman life was highly organized, with the Sultan ruling from Istanbul's Topkapi Palace. The Imperial Council, led by the Grand Vizier, managed the vast empire. Cities were divided into neighborhoods, each with its own mosque or church and bustling bazaar. Coffee houses became centers for conversation, politics, and storytelling. The economy thrived on agriculture and trade, with fertile lands and control over key routes. Artisans produced prized tiles, textiles, and carpets, exported across Europe. Family was central, with patriarchal households and arranged marriages. Women's influence was greatest in the home, and for some, within the palace. Education was tied to religion, with boys learning at mosque schools and scholars trained in madrases. Daily life blended tradition, faith, and commerce. The empire's structure allowed it to govern a diverse, sprawling population. The Ottoman Empire was a mosaic of ethnicities and religions: Turks, Greeks, Serbs, Arabs, Jews, Armenians, and more. The millet system organized non-Muslim communities, granting them autonomy under their own leaders and laws. As long as they paid the jizya tax and accepted the Sultan's authority, non-Muslims could practice their faith freely. This relative tolerance attracted refugees like Jews expelled from Spain in 1492. The empire became a haven for diversity, with Istanbul as a cosmopolitan hub. Cultures, languages, and ideas mixed in Ottoman cities, creating a vibrant society. For centuries, this diversity was a strength, fostering innovation and exchange. But in the 1800s, nationalism began to fracture the empire. Ethnic and religious groups sought independence, using the millet system as a foundation. The same diversity that once unified the empire now contributed to its decline. The Ottoman approach to diversity shaped the region's history and its modern challenges. The Ottoman Empire ended in 1922, but its legacy is everywhere. Modern borders in the Middle East and Balkans trace back to Ottoman provinces. Many current conflicts have roots in the empire's collapse and the rise of nationalism. Ottoman culture lives on in food: kebabs, baklava, coffee, and in architecture from Bosnia to Cairo. The empire shaped relations between East and West, fueling both rivalry and fascination. Its story is one of power, faith, and diversity, showing how a small state became a global force. The Ottoman legacy is woven into today's politics, cultures, and daily life. To understand our world, we must understand the Ottomans. Their rise and fall still echo in the present. Join us as we explore more stories that shaped our world.